There are no as such regional or national league here in India, and we're not supporting professional leagues in India. They are like the culprit here.
Right.
So they are mostly acting as a roadblock for the players.
The reasons that we've got Abhudaya Yadav on the podcast today is, just to discuss about Indian basketball. I think Abhudaya, Indian basketball is one sport which has a lot of, potential future fans, in India, but somehow the sport in India is not able to grow because considering the numbers that we have who watch the NBA, right? Our own sport in India is suffering right now. I'll start off with you by straight going to the topic and trying to break the ice. How much does a basketball player earn in India?
For this, this is a very controversial question when you are considering India, because in India there's nothing like a professional basketball player because the lack of leagues is there. There are no professionally operating leagues which are paying players a professional fee just to play the game. So what happens? The player who are playing at the national level or the international level, they join any department like the services, army, railways, and those, and then the government pays them as an employee. So what you can say is they are not directly earning from playing basketball, but they are earning from a government job.
So when you say government job playing basketball, I don't think so everyone really understands what is this, because there are cricket players who play, but I don't think so they have a government job. So what is this with doing a government job and playing basketball?
So as we all know that cricket is on just another level in India. So most of the players are making money through the leagues in IPL and all those. Now there are a lot of regional leagues too that are paying well to their players.
Right.
This is not the same for basketball.
Right.
There are no as such regional or national league here in India, and because of that, the top level players who are playing for the country or their states, and when they get medals in the national level tournament, they do opt for trials for joining these services, which are run by the government departments. And once they get into that, they play for the department itself, and they are paid just like a regular employee, but they also play for the department.
So are you saying right now the road to get into Indian basketball or player sport is to probably secure a government job and then play the sport?
No, you have to play the sport first, excel in it, and then you might find a government job too through the sport. And if you want to play a sport long term, then you have to get into a government job because that is going to be your bread and butter in the long run and not the sport itself.
And if I can, put you on the spot and ask you, how much do you make by playing basketball?
For me, if I consider the leagues that I've been playing for a lot of years now, I've been playing professionally since 2018. So it's somewhere around 40 to 50K that I make through basketball. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. You can't say, but the average is somewhere around 40.
And, there have been a couple of leagues as well in India. We are aware of a few leagues. If you had to share your experience of, one of the best leagues you played for, or one of the leagues that has paid you well, in the Indian basketball fraternity.
So I've played 3 seasons with the league, the 3x3 league, TBL. And back in 2022, I got paid, I was having a professional fee to play, and my team also came in at the second position. So I got a good prize money in that. So yeah, I made around 4,80,000 rupees in just a matter of 19 days. It was a good amount for me at that time. It was good for me.
And is this league backed by the BFI?
Yes, it was backed by BFI in the 3rd season, but it's not operational as of now.
And why do we think that it's not operational or it's not part of the?
You have already taken the name BFI. BFI is the body that's not supporting professional leagues in India. They are like the culprit here.
Right.
So if you just leave, it's not just me. If you ask any of the basketball players who want to play professionally, they will say the same thing. That BFI is poking their nose in every of the league which are trying to make a business for players in India, and like Elite Pro Basketball, INBL, and TBL also. They were trying to get in a good league so that players can find a place to showcase their talent. But BFI was not supportive of them. They were asking, they were having their own demands, and they have also banned a few players because they participated in these private leagues and professional leagues.
So. Just because you mentioned that it's kind of difficult, there are leagues in India which were paying you well, but right now I think they're not operational as well. Do you think there are, what I've heard, right? There are a few maybe misconceptions we can say, or facts, that the BFI is probably a major roadblock for the success of Indian basketball. Do you think that's true?
That's a very controversial question right there, because BFI is the basketball federation of India and it's meant to promote the sport in India. But yeah, if you ask anyone who's playing basketball at a good level, he or she will say that this is not what they are doing. They are mostly acting as a roadblock for the players.
Right.
And we have seen this back, like 1 year back when EPCL was being organized. They gave in a letter just 2 days before the event was going to happen that they will ban all the players who participate in the event. So this is not how the basketball federation should treat their players. They should allow them. They should allow the players to earn money through professional leagues too, because you can't just, like, if you look at the athletes who play basketball in foreign countries, they earn a lot of money.
Right.
Be it in the European countries or USA is the like hub for basketball.
Correct.
But in India, the talent is there, the players are there, but they are not making anything out of it. So I guess BFI should be more considerate about this. They should allow the players to participate in these leagues or come up with a league of their own which pays the players well.
And I would slowly like to move the gun now from BFI to the players as well. Just because you mentioned really well that, there was a ban put up and things like that. I think many players didn't turn up as well. Do you think players are scared of the BFI? Do you think the players should take a stand against BFI, considering that, they are, they take up the major chunk of, playing basketball. They are the athletes who actually earn money. So if the players come together, do you think things would change?
I can't say because I can speak up for myself, but what is the situation for other players? I can't explain that. But what I've seen is most of these players, they want to pursue a career in the government sector itself because of the security of the job.
Right.
So that's why when a letter like this comes up and everything, so they really get scared of it.
Right.
Even the senior players who are in the Indian national team for like good 10 to 12 years are also afraid of getting banned from their departments, because if their department ban them from playing in other events, so it directly comes up to their job. They can be suspended or things. So that's why players are really scared of the BFI thing.
Right. And where do you think is the level of Indian basketball right in India?
There's a lot of talent in India. We have good built players too, which can play basketball at a great level. But what I think is we need a better grassroots level, what you can say, a grassroots program,
right,
so that we can get players who are playing basketball since the age of 5, 6 or 7, just like China does with their players.
Right.
You see, for ping pong, like table tennis, the Chinese players start playing ping pong at the age of 3 or 4.
Right.
And then they develop the game, and by the age of 14, 15, 16, they're competing at the Olympics too.
Right.
So we have to get these things right. Thus, the support system has to be really well if you want to pursue a career in professional basketball.
We've been speaking about many leagues, right?
Yeah.
You've been also associated with a lot of, I would say CEOs or owners of every league. Be it the 3BL, you know the owner, you've been with them, work closely with them. INBL, I think you know them as well. Elite Pro Basketball League, I think you know the owner there as well. If we had to compare almost every one of them, the 3 owners, the 3 team management, what do you find different? What do you find similar among all of them? If you can just shed some light.
The similar thing is that all of these guys are like promoting the sport of basketball, and I'm not in good touch with anyone from INBL, so I can't speak up for them. But yeah, for 3BL and for EPBL, I've been very close because I played EPBL for like good 3 years, and I've been associated with Elite Pro Basketball for the last 2.5 years.
Right.
And I really like their vision. What PBL has done for 3x3 basketball, it is a good thing.
Right.
I hope that it comes back because 3x3 is growing like anything. Plus, for Elite Pro Basketball, they have organized really good events before, like in the past, last year itself. I want them to come back with a good season. The players are waiting. They're all pumped up. And there's a thing that a lot of players have also backed out from playing Elite Pro because of this BFI thing.
Right.
But yeah, I guess if we as a league, if Elite Pro comes up with something big, players might support it.
Right. Fair enough. So, fair enough. I would like to go to my next point, which is, you spoke about players backing out, right? So, why do you think they've backed out, and how is it, they can come together as one team just to, face this kind of an issue?
most of these players backed out because of this. Like they're scared of the BFI because if BFI comes with any action that can ban them from their departments or from their universities, even from their universities, then it is going to be a bad thing for them. But what I feel is that these players can come together and play in the league as whole because there's strength in numbers. So if you come together, then I don't think that BFI can ban all the players altogether. They have to run an organization. They have to send the teams to play. They have to conduct their national tournaments too. So what I can appeal to the players is that they should be like united with each other and they should come as a whole and play in these leagues because what we have seen like internationally is that these leagues are the things that grow the level of a particular sport in the particular regions. Because USA, them because of the NBA. The USA basketball team is winning the Olympics for a long time. That every time they win the gold medal,
Right.
and this is because they are using the NBA players, the supreme talent that they have. So you have to see this. India, the cricket is growing because of IPL. In European countries, basketball is good. Baseball, basketball, everything is good in USA. Or hockey, like Australia is having a good team in hockey. They are also having their leagues. So you have to focus on these.
I have a very interesting question here, and I think very interesting point was that see, help me understand this, right? EPBL had announced the league for August, right? And we had INBL come in and say that they want to do a league, but surprisingly, even though they knew the dates, they still announced the league in August. So shouldn't it be INBL fighting against the BFI or INBL fighting against EPBL? Which would have been better, coming together with EPBL and going against the BFI, or simply going against EPBL?
What I can say is that they should decide a different pathway for this so that both of these leagues can run side by side.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because it would be a good thing for the players. They can participate in both of them, make money out of it. And as per for BFI, I guess both of these leagues, if they are not being supported by BFI, they should be completely against the BFI because if you are promoting something and the main body that has to do this, they are stopping it, stopping you from doing it, then you have to be just against. Okay. That's the way you have to go ahead.
Small game that we're going to play. Like you can see on the screen, we have a few segments that we've put out. I will give you a few names for players, and I just want you to slot them in every segment. And like you can see, the segments are close to GOAT, underrated, want him in my team, content creator, and needs to retire. Right? So straight up, let's start with Vishesh Begwanshi.
He's close to GOAT for me.
Why? If I can ask.
One of the best players India's ever produced. I played with him, been his teammate too. And he's like a very good player, very skilled. And he has also performed at the international level for India.
Right. Arvind Anadurai?
Somewhat underrated.
Aaron Montero?
Would definitely want him in my team. He's a great point guard.
Tanmay Mali?
He's a good content creator now, I guess. He's a good player and also a good content creator.
Okay. Yeah. What about Dhruv Burman?
Same. He's a good friend of mine, plays real good basketball, being his teammate too. And he also creates great content.
You actually slotted him at least, I think, two segments here. I'll go to Jaggi Paji, Jagdeep Singh Benz.
Yeah.
Where would you?
I would say he has played his part for Indian basketball. He has played really well, performed at the top level for the Indian team and his for the Punjab team too. And also mentored a lot of great basketball players. And I guess it's time to hang those shoes and be a mentor to many more players.
Quite a strong opinion. Manik Olan?
I would love to have him in my team.
Lal Rena?
Lal Rena, he's a good player. What I can say, he's somewhat underrated. He's called the Wizard in 3BL and you have seen him play.
Yeah.
So he's a real good player.
Sahaj?
Sahaj is an upcoming talent. I would love to have him in my team. It's great to play with him.
Okay. Arvind Krishna?
Arvind Bhai has been a really good player for a very long time now. He has played for his state team and also represented India. But as what I think, he's very much focused on his own acting career as of now. And that's why I would put him in this content creation category. But would love to see him play for EPBL in the coming future.
I would just like to divert from this topic and get a little more personal with you, right?
Okay.
Getting to understand an Indian basketball player is very difficult. Talk us through athletes and their dating life, right? specifically with Indian basketball, how is it? What's the culture like? What's the vibe like? What's the drip like for the millennials, the Gen Z who are watching this, just for them to be to understand, what is it that you guys currently
On
are
the
in?
dating culture, like it's very much similar in sports too, but yeah, you get a lot of interaction with the opposite gender while playing for the national team or the national like the tournaments that are happening. So what you can say, it's quite happening for these guys. Yeah.
Are you saying it's happening for these guys and not you? Like, is there a difference? Do you prefer that thing for yourself as a person, as a personality, or
Yeah, I can say it's the same for all of us.
no? So, so do you think that dating or love is very important as an athlete to perform better?
You can say that because there are good number of couples in Indian basketball too, like Shiv Koival Bhai and his wife Sneha. Same with Udrick Pereira and Steffi. These guys have played basketball together for a very long period of time and like now life partners.
Right.
So you can say, yeah, that love blooms between basketball.
So in sports, right, we have a very important aspect which is like a drug test. I think it happens in the Premier League or in football, where after every game you just select one player randomly from the team and he or she is tested, right? So I want to know in basketball currently what's the scene like? How does the testing take place? What is the vibe like there?
So in basketball, as I've already told you, that they're not like there's no professional league running as
Right.
of now in India.
Right.
So the drug testing is not done on a regular basis. Yeah, but during the national championships, especially for the senior nationals, if like the NADA comes in, the NADA teams, and if they find it, like some of the players like they are playing, what you can say, performing extraordinarily well, then they do test them for any of these substances. And yes, uh, some players have been banned by the NADA team in basketball too. Like in 2000, between 2019 and 2021, there were 3 or 4 players who were banned.
Are the players back on the court?
Yeah, now they're back.
And do we know these players in today's time? Very well known.
Yes, we do know them, but I won't like. I'm not comfortable in taking their names.
Of course.
Yeah, but yes, we do.
Right. But is this the right process of doing the test, that only if you see any player playing well, or should there be a process followed throughout?
As I think that there should be a process that should be followed throughout. So most of these players would be kept in check, and they won't be like motivated to do these practices because when you know that you're going to be like randomly checked, so it's all on a probability thing. So like you can take these things and you just sometimes the luck favors you and you are not caught. Like you don't get caught.
Right. So if there was a 12-year-old boy watching you right now and he wanted to pick up basketball and play today, what would you want to tell him?
I would tell him that yes, go ahead with the thing. You will enjoy the game, and this journey is a really well like you will enjoy your journey playing basketball. And if you want to play professionally, look for some overseas opportunities early in your career, like when you're between 18 to 22. If you find any of those, then you're all set for like next 7 or 8 years. You can play overseas. And uh, as of now, the Indian basketball scene is also going to grow. What I think leagues are trying to come in and like they want to what you can say make a good ecosystem for basketball players in India too.
Right.
And if someone who's 12 years as of now, he's going to pick up a basketball, learn the game, it will be like 4 or 5 years that he needs. And by then, I guess that there should be a good running professional league in India, and he can be a part of that thing and earn money through it.
Right. And before we end and before you leave, just want to ask you one last final question. That you're in your late 20s right now. Sport is very cruel to people, right? But do we think that you're probably thinking of retirement in the near future, close to hanging your boots, or do you wish to continue? And if yes, until when? And what's your future plan?
I really want to play basketball for like a good 10 years from now. I just want that I don't get any serious injuries and just be around on the court. I really enjoy this game.
Right.
And this is why I've been pursuing it for last 15 or 16 years.
Right.
And yes, I want to play it for like 10, 15 years. Like this is what I do.
Right.
So I'm good with this.
Thank you, champion. Nice having you here, Mr.